Hello, good evening once again. So this is what our last lecture. Okay, and let me take a review what we had in last lecture. So we have concluded with approximate H module, is it? So when I started with amplifier, then we have derived all those parameters, that is input impedance, output impedance, current gain, voltage gain. Those four parameters of amplifier we have derived with reference to hybrid module, is it? First, what we have done, we converted our transistor into its equivalent hybrid module. Then for transistorized hybrid equivalent module, we have derived four parameters which actually belongs to an amplifier, is it? Because input impedance, output impedance, the current gain and voltage gain, those four parameters are parameters of an amplifier, but we have derived those parameters for transistorized H module, is it? And those are the equation. Look at this: output admittance means output impedance we can derive after that, right? Output impedance, input impedance, and then we started with approximate H module, is it? Why we started with approximate H module? Because if there is a real common emitter amplifier, if it is, then we have to derive actual all four parameters, and those four parameters includes the equation includes, is it? The equations of those parameter includes H parameters, or that is HI, HO, HF, is it? HR, and those H parameters themselves are not constant, is it? We have taken one example of a transistor. If you take one transistor, that is BC547 from your lab, this is what, look at this, is it? You take example of one transistor, even the same transistors are there, then also the value of HFE is different, is it? It means those H parameters itself are not constant. That's what we have written: H parameters itself are not constant, is it? And if those are not constant, how can I trust them? Nobody can. So that's why we convert equivalent H module into approximate H module. Anyhow, those values are not exact, they are not constant. So why not to convert them in approximate? So that's why we converted this circuit in approximate H module, is it? And in approximate H module, what we have seen? We have seen that this HRVO part is removed. Even this 1 divided by HO, this impedance is also removed, is it? And if those quantities are removed, then the actual circuit becomes this. At the input side we have only HI, at the output side we have one current source, that is HFI1, and this we call it as approximate H module, is it? This is what a quick review of last lecture. Now from here we will actually start with amplifier analysis. Now here, mm, the title for today's lecture that I will write is okay. Let us start with the approximate. So I will write title as approximate H module for CE amplifier, because we know that if, as we have learned, approximate H module for a single transistor that we have considered as a two-port network. Then for a single transistor, let's connect a biasing circuit and 2-3 capacitors, it becomes an amplifier, is it? So as if now we have actually entered into the amplifier world, let me draw the amplifier circuit, is it? I told you that amplifier circuit is nothing but a biasing circuit with 2-3 capacitors. So where to connect those capacitors exactly? Let me show you. So this is a collector resistor RC, then there is a emitter resistor also. Then look at this, the base of the transistor is here. Now this circuit is known to everyone. What is this circuit? It is a simple voltage divider bias circuit. Is it? The base is connected here. Now I need to connect an input. So this is what, one capacitor I have connected at the input side, and this I am referring as a source, voltage source. Right? This can be your function generator. Is it? So the voltage from the function generator or the input from the function generator is connected to the base of the transistor. Look at this. It is a base. It is this is connected to the base via a capacitor that I am calling it as an Cin, that is input coupling capacitor. Remember the name. It is input coupling capacitor. Input coupling capacitor. Actually we are supposed to say only coupling capacitor, but still I am referring it as an input coupling capacitor. Is it? So when we things will go ahead, you will come to know that input coupling capacitor, output coupling capacitor, such things does not exist. What exists is coupling capacitor only. So we'll refer coupling capacitor afterwards, but for the time being, as we are at the initial stage, we will call its full name, input coupling capacitor. Is it? Now just wait. Okay, now come here again, sorry for the interruption. So we are drawing amplifier. Is it? Now this is input coupling capacitor. We had an explanation about that. Now here let me connect one supply, that is VCC. By default it is plus VCC, we know that. And this one extra capacitor that I am connecting here, this I am calling it as an CE. I will tell you why it is CE, as the capacitor which is in parallel with emitter or connected to the emitter, that's why it is CE. But it has a major role, you will come to know in next to next lecture. I will call this resistor as RE, same as we have used in voltage biasing. So this is R1, R2, look at this, R1, R2, RC, RE, 4 resistors I have connected, one extra capacitor is connected, which is coupling input voltage or source voltage to the base of the transistor. And here is the output that I am taking. So see, input is coupled to the base via a capacitor. Like this, output which is available at the collector is coupled to the load. Look at this, I will show a load here. So this is what a load, it can be anything. It can be anything. I told you a concept of load. Anything or any electronic device, component, equipment that take current from your circuit, that's what a load is. So this capacitor is input coupling capacitor, which is connecting input to the base. Now this capacitor I am referring it as an output coupling capacitor, which is connecting load to the collector. Is it? This transistor I am calling it as an Q or Q1, Q2, whatever your name is. This is a reference terminal, a common terminal. In general, it is a ground terminal. Is it? So now this circuit diagram is called common emitter single stage RC coupled amplifier. Look at the complete name. I will write it here. It is common emitter. I will write short form CE. Common emitter single stage. Common emitter single stage RC coupled amplifier. Now look at the name. Now it is common emitter because the emitter is common in the configuration. We have already studied 3 configurations. Is it? So out of this common emitter configuration, so that's why I'm writing CE. Now single stage. Single stage, only one amplifier stage is there. We know that if, look at this, if this is one amplifier, in case if this amplifier is not able to provide a larger gain, then we connect another amplifier in series. Now it's a pair. It is a this system is called cascading. This scenario is called cascading. Now if two are not sufficient to give me sufficient output or gain, then I will connect another one. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to magnify, or I'm just trying to increase the gain of a single amplifier. Is it? So that's why I've connected supporting amplifiers in series. Right. So this is what this scenario is called multi-stage, because so many stages are there. One stage means one amplifier, another stage another amplifier, another amplifier. So it is a three-stage amplifier. If only two amplifiers were there, then it is two-stage amplifier. If four amplifiers are connected or cascaded, then it is a four-stage amplifier. Like this, single-stage amplifier means only one amplifier. Multi-stage means more than one stages of amplifier is connected in a chain. Is it? Now, for the time being, we have only one stage, one amplifier circuit, single transistor, single amplifier. So that's why it is single stage. Now, RC coupled. RC coupled. See, the coupling means this I am talking about. Input to the amplifier is coupled, output to the amplifier is coupled via a capacitor. Is it? Through a capacitor. Input is coupled to the base of the transistor through a capacitor. Even a load is coupled, or load is connected to the collector via a coupling capacitor. Is it? So it is a capacitive coupling, and I know that. Even we know that capacitors never work alone. Is it? It needs an impedance. Is it? कैपेसिटर अकेला काम कर सकता है? No, not possible. उसको एक रेजिस्टेंस लगता ही है. To charge, to discharge, to work with, it need a pair of resistance always. It never work alone. So that's why it is RC coupling. A resistive and capacitive coupling is used to connect input to the base and to connect load to the collector. So this is RC coupling. Now the full name is clear. Common emitter single stage RC coupled amplifier. Is it? Now here itself let me clear the third capacitor. See, two capacitors already we have discussed. What is this? C in, C out. One is input coupling capacitor, second one is output coupling capacitor. Now one extra capacitor that I have connected in the circuit, that is CE. It is called a bypass capacitor. Okay, let's turn towards this bypass capacitor after we finish our second diagram of amplifier. Let me draw another diagram for the amplifier where I am not going to connect this third capacitor. Is it? What's the reason why I am doing this? I will tell you in detail. Now look at this. One resistor, transistor is this, emitter is connected to 1. Now this is what my base, R1 is connected to the base, R2 is connected. Same way we will connect coupling capacitor and the input voltage. By same way we'll connect output coupling capacitor, and if you are interested, connect a load. See, I am showing dotted line to the load because it can be anything, not mandatory that you connect a resistor all the time. Right? You connect a bulb, the impedance of the bulb will be load resistance. Right? You connect motor, motor's impedance will be the load resistance for us. So now as a practical purpose in our lab, generally we connect a small resistor. Small means about 2k, 2 kilo I am talking about, 2 kilo ohm. So I am showing resistor everywhere. So this is plus VCC, give the name as it is. This is RC, this is RE, C out, load resistor RL, this is R1 and this is R2, and this is C in, this is input voltage VS, let me call it as voltage source VS, and the ground is connected here. Now see, now what's the difference between these two amplifier circuits? See, I am saying common emitter single stage RC coupled amplifier? Yes, it is. Hmm? Both are common emitter, agreed. Both are single stage, agreed. Both are RC coupled, agreed. But still, there is a small difference. Now, what's the difference? The difference is there. Look at this. Difference is here. I don't have coupling capacitor in my second diagram of amplifier. Is it? Coupling capacitor is not connected in the second diagram, but there is a coupling capacitor in the first diagram, and that's the only difference between these two circuits. Is it? And that difference make the category of CE, single stage RC coupled amplifier. Is it? Now this first circuit I will call it as an bypass amplifier. Bypass amplifier. And the second diagram, this above one, I will call it as unbypass amplifier. Now what is this bypass and unbypass amplifier? Okay, now here we need to understand the actual use of CE, the bypass capacitor. Is it? Now, as it is an amplifier circuit, is it not? It is an amplifier circuit. So, the basic property of capacitor. What is the property of capacitor? Capacitor passes AC and capacitor blocks DC. This is a known fact that capacitor passes AC, capacitor blocks DC. Now, if this is VCC, we know the working of amplifier. Is it? The current is taken from the VCC, and the current which is taken from the VCC is going towards the ground, that is from collector to emitter, and the current path, that is from collector to emitter, is controlled by the base. Is it? This is what amplification action is, and we had the discussion so many times. Now, if current is flowing in this direction from, okay, let me change the panel, let me have this now. If this is what the direction of current, that is from collector to the emitter, so it means at the emitter here there is a current which is a combination of base current as well as collector current. Is it? Now what is the base current? Base current will give you fluctuations. Obviously base is connected to the input side, so input is nothing but a sine wave. Is it? That's what our first assumption, that I have connected a simple sine wave as an input to the amplifier. So at the input side I have sine wave, I have AC signal, I have fluctuations. But the current which is coming from the collector is what? A current drawn from the VCC by the collector. Is it? So that's why there are no fluctuations. Is it? There is no fluctuation, and there are some fluctuations, very small fluctuations. Is it? Ideally there should not be any fluctuations at the base, because the base is a control element, a control component is base, so fluctuation should not be there. The job is just to control. Is it? What happens in the base? Some electrons are coming from the emitter that combine with the base, is it, base holes, and the current starts flowing. That's what the actual transistor action. But as there is an influence of the input signal, there are some fluctuations at the base side. Is it? So maybe there are fluctuations at the emitter side. At this point, you will get fluctuations, may you will get some AC components, may you will get ripples. Those AC components generally we call it as a ripples. So what to do with those AC components? AC components are useful. Can I allow those AC components through emitter resistor? Obviously not, because I don't want any small AC component flow through the emitter. I don't want this at all. So now somewhere I need to send those AC components, those fluctuations, those ripples. Where to send them? Then those AC components are grounded through this capacitor. Is it? So this is what it is, a bypassing of a complete current. Is it? It is a bypassing of complete current. Only DC component is present across this RE. Rest of the component is flowing through CE. So this is bypass capacitor. Is it? This is the bypass way for the current. Is it? Now look at this. At the base side, very small fluctuations. So obviously at the collector side, very large fluctuations. Why? Because a small current at the base is converted into large current at the collector. Very small fluctuations, very large fluctuations. Is it? It is a base, it is a collector. Small fluctuations, large fluctuations. Is it? So what I'm providing a path, another path, and alternate path for that component through bypass capacitor. Is it? So this capacitor is called bypass capacitor because this is just providing a bypass to the AC components. Is it? Now what is that CE? This CE is called bypass capacitor. Bypass capacitor. So whenever you say it's CE, you call it as a bypass capacitor. What's the job of bypass capacitor? Just to provide a bypass way, bypass route, bypass path for the AC current. That's what it is. Now this bypass capacitor is present in one circuit. So that's why look at the first circuit I'm talking about. Now this bypass capacitor is connected, or when it is connected in the amplifier circuit, the amplifier is called bypass amplifier. Is it? And when it is removed from the amplifier's name will be unbypassed amplifier. Yes, and that's the only smallest difference between these two circuits. Is it? Now what will be the complete name for this amplifier? Look at this. For this amplifier, the full name will be common emitter bypassed single stage RC coupled amplifier. Now look at this. Only one word I have added. Is that? Now what will be the name for this amplifier? Is that? Let me check whether I can copy and paste the same thing. Yes, yes, it is possible. Now for the second amplifier, you will get the same name. Let me paste it here. Okay, I have pasted. Now the second amplifier is called same common emitter. Now the word will be unbypassed amplifier. Let me write it here. It is unbypassed single stage RC coupled amplifier, and that's the difference. Is it? Now the thing is clear. See, the title that we have started with is approximate H module for C amplifier, but in C amplifier itself we have two types. It means now we have to analyze these two amplifiers, that is approximate H module for bypassed C amplifier and approximate H module for unbypassed C amplifier. Like this we need to proceed. Is it? Now once we start with this bypassed amplifier, side by side you will come to know what will be the equation and derivations for unbypassed amplifier. Is it? And generally whenever you want voltage amplifier, whenever we design a voltage amplifier, by default we design bypass amplifier. Is it? Now why by default I am saying bypass every time? Is it? Whenever say design an amplifier, you people generally people design bypass amplifier. What's the reason? You will come to know in analysis. What's the difference between the parameters of bypassed and unbypassed? Is it? Whether bypass provides some extra benefits and that's why I'm using bypass all the time, or what are some drawbacks of unbypassed amplifier and that's why I'm not going to design unbypassed amplifier frequently. Is it? You will come to know in the analysis. But before that, let us start with approximate H module of those amplifiers. Is it? Okay, let me draw the approximate H module for bypassed amplifier first. Is it? Now, as it is a bypassed amplifier, we need to think about the capacitor which is in parallel with the resistor. Which is this resistor? It is Re. Okay, stay here on the screen. Now, what I am going to do, approximate H module for bypassed C amplifier. But when I start with equivalent diagram, when I want to draw equivalent circuit for this amplifier, obviously I need to follow the guidelines that already we had discussed about. What are those guidelines? First thing is make capacitors short. Then second thing is make VCC ground. Yes, that's what the steps we follow, is it? But remember, when I apply first step to my circuit, when CE capacitor is there, is it? So what is the first step? Make all the capacitors equals to 0. Okay, let me copy the diagram and then let me explain. Okay, let me have this diagram. Let me copy diagram for unbypassed amplifier and then make it bypass by connecting a simple one capacitor. Now look at this. Now what is this diagram? This is a bypassed or unbypassed? Yes, it is a bypassed amplifier. Confidently I am saying bypass because I know I am going to connect one capacitor here. Now look at this. This capacitor I have connected. I am calling it as an CE. Now this is a bypassed amplifier. Yes. Now I want to draw equivalent circuit for this bypassed amplifier. Is it? If I want to draw the equivalent circuit, let me follow the steps. What are the steps? First thing is you have to replace the capacitor with a short circuit. Okay, let me do it. Let me remove this capacitor. C in. See, I have removed the capacitor. Let me remove this capacitor also. That is C out. Okay, and let me remove this capacitor CE. See, I am removing those capacitors. It means what I need to do, I have to replace them with a short circuit. Look at this. Replace them with a short circuit. Replace them with a short circuit. Here also I have to replace capacitor CE with a short circuit. Now see, things are fine with CE, even things are okay with C out. But what about RE and CE? Look at the parallel combination. Here a resistor, that is Re, comes in parallel with short circuit. Look at this. This is Re and this is CE, which is short circuited now. Now, when a resistor is in parallel with the short circuit, what will be the equivalent resistance? The equivalent resistance will be short circuit, is it not? See, we know the thumb rule from network analysis. What is the thumb rule? The large value of resistance, when it is in parallel with the small value of resistance, the equivalent is approximately small value of resistance. That's the thumb rule. We know that when a short circuit, that is very small value of resistance, approximately 0. Why approximately? Exactly 0. It is in parallel with the Re. So Re is in parallel with short circuit, equivalent will be 0. 0 means again short circuit. It means my equivalent diagram will be like this. Here I need to remove Re. Look at this. This is what I have removed Re. Is it? So I have removed Re means emitter is now directly connected to the ground. Is it? So let me correct this diagram. Not correct answer, just modify the diagram. Small eraser. Okay. Now eraser's work is done. Connect emitter directly to the ground. And now this is what my actual circuit diagram, which I need to convert into approximate H module. Is it? Yes or no? Now this will work with the second type of amplifier. It means this type of amplifier. Let me draw this type of amplifier, that is unbypassed. So whatever theory I have applied to the bypass amplifier, can I apply the same theory to unbypassed amplifier? Okay, things are going online, so it will take some time. Now look at this. Okay, let me disconnect the internet. So now it's not syncing. See, everything is okay. Now look at two diagrams. Is it? So one diagram, that is first bypassed amplifier. I have modified bypass amplifier, but still I have not touched this unbypassed amplifier. Now how I have modified this bypassed amplifier? By obviously short circuiting the capacitors. Here also in unbypassed amplifier I need to apply the same thing. So let me apply the same thing to this amplifier, unbypassed amplifier. So see, remove the capacitor. See, I have removed the capacitor, even the name also I am removing. I have removed this capacitor. Yes, now things are done. See, replace them with a short circuit. Replace this with a short circuit, and this is what my job. Is it? As in unbypassed capacitor, CE, that is in unbypassed amplifier, this bypassed capacitor is not there. So as if no bypass capacitor, no parallel combination with RE, it means now this thing is done. Now check out both amplifier. What's the difference? Now the difference is emitter. In case of bypass amplifier, emitter is directly connected to the ground, but here in unbypassed amplifier, emitter is not directly connected to the ground. One extra resistor, not extra as such, but this RE is there in between ground and the emitter. Is it? Now this is what the perfect setup to draw the approximate H module for both the amplifiers. Let's start with them. Is it? Now for the first, that is bypassed amplifier, let me draw approximate module. Okay, instead of drawing stepwise, it will be easy for us. Actually it will not be easy, but what I assume that having the same thing again and again, I am considering that you people are well aware with how to draw approximate H module, how to replace the transistor with the H module, and then we'll proceed. Okay. Now what is there in approximate H module? There is HIE. Only HIE is there at the input side. Is it? HREVO is not there. Is it? HREVO thing should not be there. So now let me draw the circuit, that is approximate circuit. Okay, let me have this. Now I need to draw a small diagram because I have to draw bypassed as well as unbypassed. Yes, in a half part, that is in left side, I will draw equivalent circuit for bypassed amplifier. In the right part, I will draw a diagram or equivalent circuit for unbypassed amplifier. Is it? So may I need large space for that. Okay, let me have this first. Now this is what my okay, that I have decided that HRVO should not be there in the circuit. So now why I am drawing HRVO? Yes, it should not be there. Only HIE. Yes, only HIE must be there. Now this is directly connected to the ground. Is it? At the output side, I have only one current source, and the current source is HFE multiplied by IB. Now see, I am considering common emitter configuration. So HI will become HIE, HF will become HFE, I1, which is input current, now it will be IB, because we know that at the input side the current is IB, because base is there at the input side. Input is applied to the base. Is it? So 1 divided by HOE part is not there. I am not drawing it at all. Hmm. Now, as if 1 divided by HOE part is not there, what is remaining at the output side? I have only RC and one extra thing, it's not extra but load register, which is always optional. So the I have finished with the output part. As if now I am done with output part, let's come to the input part. What is there at the input side? At the input side, I have R1 in parallel with R2. Now why I am saying in parallel with? Because a VCC is connected directly to the ground. So this pair of R1 and R2 must be there. So see, R1 and R2 both are there. Now let me connect input source. Okay, the space, yes, I have managed now. So this is source voltage, which is optional, is it? Sometimes I will consider source voltage, sometimes I will not consider the source voltage. It means, see, in case of exact H module, we started with the same theory. Is it? First, don't consider the source, and after that, consider the source. That's what. Now, here is R1, R2, RS, HIE, RC, RL, yes, everything is connected. This is what bypassed amplifier. Let me write the name as bypass. What is this? This is what my bypass amplifier. Now, in case of unbypassed amplifier, what will be there? Okay, to minimize the work, I will copy the same diagram. It is possible? Yes, it is possible. I will copy it. I'm just saving my time. That's what. Let me copy the same diagram and let me paste it here. Is it? Now I will modify the circuit. How? Look at the diagram. Diagram of unbypassed amplifier. What is there in between emitter to ground? There is one resistor. Now here, in case of bypass amplifier, do we have any impedance connected between emitter to ground? No. Look at this. If it is equivalent circuit that I am talking about, this is what my base, this is what my collector, and this is emitter. I am showing emitter as a ground. Why? Because emitter is directly connected to the ground. Look at here. Emitter is directly connected to the ground. Is it? So that's why. Now see, I have something. Just wait. Okay. So we are here. Okay, I'm sorry for the interruption. What's the scene? Array, it's not happening. Okay, this is what. Okay, sorry. No, in case of unbypassed amplifier, we don't have any RE. So emitter is, or emitter cannot be. What happened? I need to modify here. What things I need to modify? Look at this. I have to modify this thing. I need to place one emitter resistor. See, the emitter resistor is a part of input as well as part of output, is it not? Look at this, the diagram. This emitter, this emitter resistor, look at this emitter resistor is a part of input loop, and this emitter resistor is also a part of output loop. It means this emitter resistor is a common part of input as well as output. It is called feedback resistor. You will come to know about feedback and feedback resistance maybe in next sessions. But for the time being, assume that RE is a part of input as well as output. So now it has to be connected as a common resistance between input and output, and it has to be reflected in the diagram. So that's why, let me modify the diagram something like this. Look at this. One end of the RE is connected as a common between input and output, and another end is connected to the ground. So let me have this. Now this is what my unbypassed amplifier. Let me write it here. This is unbypassed amplifier. Now this is what actually diagram for unbypassed amplifier. Now what we are going to do in this, we are going to analyze those amplifier, that is bypass amplifier and unbypassed amplifier. We are going to analyze those amplifiers with four parameters. What are those four parameters? Let me change the pen. This is obviously voltage gain, second parameter is current gain, third parameter is input impedance, and the fourth parameter is output impedance. That's what we have to derive all those parameters with reference to these two amplifiers. Is it? Now what I will need for that, I will need two things. Look at this. Here I will define some terms. This voltage I called it as a Vs. Here I call it as a Vi. That is input voltage. I am treating it as an input voltage. Is it? I will treat it as input voltage. Now this is Vi. Obviously the same thing should be here. I will call it as Vi. Okay. Then the impedance that I can see from this side, I call it as input impedance. Let's see, I am not using the word Ri like this. I am using Zi. Is it? Obviously the Zi will reflect here. Zi. Is it? And the input impedance at looking from this point, I will call it as impedance at the base. Is it? Impedance at the base. I can have the same thing here, impedance at the base. Look at the notation. Somewhere I am using Zi, somewhere I am using Zb. That is impedance from the input side, impedance from the base side. Is it? Now Ri means what? Zi and Zb. What Zi and Zb will give me? Ri. Is it? Now at the output side, obviously from the output side I will have the same thing. This is the output impedance at the collector. I will call it as Zc. And here I will have output voltage which is present across the load resistor. So obviously I need to call this as output impedance Zo. Is it? That is impedance at the output, impedance at the collector. That is what output voltage. Now let me have the same thing. What happened? I can't go there. Okay, yes I can. Now here same thing I will apply. I call this as Zc, I call this as Zo, that is impedance from the output side, and this is what output voltage present across the load resistor. Is it? The current which is flowing through is Ic. The current which is flowing through the base is Ib. Let me call the current which is flowing through source is Is also. Is it? Don't miss it. And what else is there? I need to mark those Ib, Is and Ic even at the input side also. So call this as Ic, call this as Is, that is the current coming from the source. Is it? And call this as Ib, that is current into the base. Is it? Now what I have HIE directly connected to the ground. Is it? Instead of connecting this HIE, some people connect this HIE here also. Is it? For their sake, it's your choice completely whether you want to you want to connect HIE at the serial line, or you want to connect it as a parallel look to the HFE IB. It's completely our choice. Now this is what two amplifiers I have. One is bypassed amplifier, another one is unbypassed amplifiers, and now my job is to analyze those amplifiers. To analyze those amplifier means I will derive those four parameters, that is input impedance, output impedance, voltage gain and current gain. Is that? Now, so whatever things we have mentioned here till now, let me write those. Let me write those. Is it? Yes, we have taken. Let me write those means what I need to do. I need to write the notations what I have used, or which are the notations I am using here. Mm, okay. Now what notations I am using here? ZB. First notation is ZB. What is that ZB? ZB is the input impedance to the base of the transistor. That is input impedance to the base of a transistor. I am writing in fast mode. Now what is the ZC? Output impedance to the collector. You can write the whole thing. I'm just copying the thing. What is O? O is output impedance at the, or what I can say, of this circuit. And what is that ZI? It is input impedance at site and at inputs. That's all. Other notions. I don't think we need to write IS means the current flowing from the source, IV means current of the base, IC and those things, because those I can understand. We have used those terms so many times. That just this ZI, ZB, ZC, those are some new terms that I need to write, so that's why I have written on paper. Is it? Now, from the next lecture, we will start with the analysis of all those parameters, that is input impedance, output impedance, the current gain as well as the voltage gain. Okay, till then, thanks a lot.